Story time about how my best friend wants me to hook up with her boyfriend. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. I was sending me on Instagram. First, you have to understand how close I am to my best friend. We met in first grade. Since then, we've basically turned into the same person. We almost dress identical. We got the same hairstylist, same colorist. We always get our nails done the exact same way. And we pretty much did everything at the same time. We got our periods 1 week apart. We even got braces at the same time. Parents are really good friends as well. We live about 2 houses away from each other, so we do see each other every single day. And this has been happening for the past 18 years. But we are so different in personality. She has no fear of anything, and she can be pretty reckless at times. I'm really careful and I worry about everything. I have extreme respect for my parents. I love spending time with my parents. We'll watch movies and cook together. That's my perfect night. Whereas she just wants to party and get away from her parents. Ago, she got a new boyfriend and I didn't like him from the beginning. He's constantly pressuring her into doing things. She ended up getting a tattoo with him, which she didn't want. He also made her get a piercing on her belly button. She just does whatever this guy says. I especially hate the way he looks at me. I honestly try not to hang out with him because of the way he looks at me. My best friend asked me if I would be willing to do it with him. Now she's pressuring me. Part 2 is my best friend is pressuring me into doing it with her boyfriend. Disclaimer, is not my story time instead of me on Instagram. She just straight up asked me if I would be willing to do it with him. I answered right away and said absolutely not. Then she started pressuring me. This was unthinkable to me. I couldn't believe that my best friend was talking to me this way. That's when I told her what I really thought about her boyfriend. I think he's an abusive narcissist, pressuring her into doing things she doesn't want, and now asking her to ask me if I want to do it with him. That is disgusting and sick. She started to cry and told me the truth. Her boyfriend pressures her into getting other girls to sleep with him. And if she doesn't get him a new girl every single week, this man threatens to break up with her. By the way, my best friend and I are 18. This guy is 26. The power dynamic is completely off. Of course, I told her to break up with him, but she says she's in love. Then she went back to pressuring me into doing it. Then I threatened to cut her off if she kept insisting. I asked her to leave my house and she did. That's what happened after that. Not 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from her boyfriend. As soon as I answer, he starts abusing me over the phone. This man called me the C word. He said that I was the narcissistic one. My best friend went and told him everything I said. And he told me to be careful. I had to do something about it. Part 3 is up. My best friend's boyfriend is trying to force me to do it with him. Disclaimer, is not my story time, was sent to me on Instagram. After he threatened me on the phone, he told me that if I didn't do it with him, that he would hurt my best friend. Then he hung up the phone. I instantly knew what I had to do. I ran and told my parents. There was no way I was gonna let this guy force himself on me or hurt my best friend more than he already has. At this point, my best friend is getting him girls every single week. I told my parents that very night what was happening, and they jumped into action. They told my best friend's parents everything. The very next day, we all went to their house and asked her to break up with him. She started to cry and told us that she loved him and that she was gonna continue getting girls for her boyfriend. Her parents explained to her how this could be illegal because if she got somebody that was too young, this could turn out to be really bad for her. That very same night, she moved in with her boyfriend. She basically ran away from her parents' house, and she didn't tell me anything about it. Parents contacted the police department and told them everything that was happening. That's when they told my parents that there was a warrant out for this guy. The police went and arrested him and she had to come back home. Now my best friend won't talk to me, but he actually broke up with her. 2 days later, we find out he had another girlfriend who was pregnant. It's been about a week and my best friend still cries over him. She refuses to see me and doesn't even take my phone calls. Should I let the friendship go, or should I keep trying? I do feel bad though, but at the same time, I knew that that relationship would escalate into no good. She unfollowed me on Instagram and started telling people what I did. But mostly everyone's telling her I was right. What should I do?
My husband and son both lied to me. I'm 34 and my husband is 36 and we've been married for 12 years. A few weeks ago, my husband said that he has seen another woman handle situations that he didn't think I would be able to. I tried to talk to him about why it bothered me and he just told me it was a passing comment and I shouldn't take it so seriously. That he had meant it to simply compliment her by saying she was handling so much on her own and he was impressed by it. You can't compliment someone by bringing someone else down. That's like a dig. That's not a compliment then, you know? That's like saying, imagine if your man is bald and you're like, wow, that guy has a really nice set of hair. You can never grow a set of hair like that. I told him it was completely unnecessary and hurtful to compare her to me to compliment her. That's what I said. He told me I was being unreasonable and jealous and that he didn't mean anything by it. After that, he didn't say anything else about it, so I dropped it. Then yesterday, when I came home from work and saw a pair of women's Fendi glasses on our kitchen island, kind of hidden by our fruit bowl, I picked them up and asked my husband whose they were. He looked confused and was like, "Aren't they yours?" I said, "No." Our older son, 11, is sitting at the table and goes, "Oh, those are my friend Allison's. I took them home by accident." I was immediately suspicious. These are very expensive glasses, and I know Allison's mother, and she doesn't seem like the type to let her child bring something worth that much money into school. My son kept insisting they were hers, and he had just taken them home accidentally on the bus, and he'd return them to her tomorrow. But I said no, and that I'd return them to to her mother in person so I could make sure they got to them safely. When I spoke to Allison's mother, she confirmed that they weren't Allison's and that neither she nor her daughter owned sunglasses like that. When I told my son and my husband this, they both feigned ignorance. My son went from saying that he could have sworn they were Allison's to, well, maybe not. Maybe I don't know whose they are. And then my husband said that he does remember taking the sunglasses out of our son's backpack when he was getting out his lunch stuff. Then my younger son, 9, just came home and recognized the sunglasses. They are Noelle's, the woman he helps out sometimes, the one he told me to not be upset that he compares me to her. I'm going to confront him when he gets home. I don't know what to say to him. I feel as though I'm going to immediately burst into tears. Can someone please give me advice on what to say? And also just general advice, please. I never thought I would be in this situation. Oh my God. There's an update, but I don't think I want to read the update. My youngest son, 9, ended up identifying the sunglasses. When he got home, my husband admitted they were Noelle's. She has been over there while I was at work. My husband has not realized they were hers. He thought they were mine, which is why he didn't move them. My oldest son realized whose they were immediately, which is why he lied about them. He knew I was going to find it all out and was trying to cover. My youngest son recognized them because apparently they have all gone with Noelle numerous places on my husband's days off while I was at work. I don't know what he told my older son, but he told my youngest not to tell me about Noelle and her son hanging out with them because I would feel bad about being left out because I was at work. Oh my God, this is so fucked up on so many different levels. I returned the glasses to Noelle, who seemed horrified. She was under the assumption I knew about their hangouts. I asked her why did she think I would be okay with this. She looked really confused and told me why would I care if we were separated anyway. Ding, 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 there's the light. Found it. Oh my God, that makes me so sad. I told her we absolutely were not separated. We were very much still together. Apparently, my husband told her we had not been together except for cohabitating and co-parenting for months now. I confronted my husband with this information and he didn't deny it. He apologized but said he had developed feelings for Noelle but didn't want to risk our marriage until he knew if they were true feelings or just attraction. He left the house. Noelle wants nothing to do with him because now she knows the truth. He lied to her as well, and she's furious. I'm speaking to a lawyer today. I'm not going to speak with him again except through lawyers since I don't have anything else to say to him. Oh my God, I'm so glad Noelle isn't one of those girls who are like, he left me for you, whatever. I'm glad she was able to see through the manipulation that if he can lie to his mother of his children, his wife that he's living with 2 sons, he'll lie to her too in the future. So, oh my God, makes me sad.
Story time about how my best friend got my house raided. So a little background information, I was 16 and in 11th grade, and we're going to call my best friend Jenna. Jenna and I have been on and off friends since elementary school. Now, the reason why we were on and off friends was because Jenna was the type of person who ended up in drama all the time. And coincidentally, anytime that I would stop being her friend, I would be in no drama. Now, there have been multiple times where I've tried to break off our friendship for good, but Jenna, of course, was the type of girl who would threaten to unalive herself whenever things didn't go her way. And I low-key have a savior complex. Also, I literally lived right across the street from her. So it was very hard to cut this friendship off. Well, anyways, fast forward, so her and I are friends, which also wasn't good because she was a very bad influence on me. For example, I didn't have a driver's license, but I had a car. So of course I would go pick her up and her and I would fuck shit up together, aka do bad things. Well, the one night I let her drive and she ended up going to my ex-boyfriend's house. So like I said, no license, but I had a car and I let her drive that night. And she went to my ex-boyfriend's house. Now, her and him used to be close whenever him and I were dating. And I didn't think anything of it until she called him and she kept telling him to come outside of his house so we could fight him. And I'm telling her to stop, but she just keeps laughing the whole time and she always does shit like this. And I was tired of being pulled into shit like this because then I got named the psycho stalker girl. So then I find out that after she went home that night, she texted my ex with this whole elaborate story about how I was the one who made her drive to his house and say all that shit. So fast forward, her and I got into it at school because I told a counselor that she was threatening to unalive herself because I was really worried for her. But then she starts posting stuff about my mental health on social media, saying things like, oh, she has zebra stripe arms. And I fought her after that. Because the only reason why I told our counselor is because I gave a shit about her mental health. So like I said, she posted stuff online about my mental health. And then her and I, we ended up fighting at school. and her mom decided to press charges. But then I ended up showing the cops everything that she had said to me online and all the bullying that she was doing, and how she would literally blackmail me into being friends with her. And this made Jenna and Jenna's mom super unhappy, so they ended up filing a false report about me to the police, saying that I have illegal stuff in my house, and I do this and I do that, and I plan on unaliving my mom. Like, what the fuck? So in the middle of the night, my whole family and I are woken up by this loud banging on our front door. So my mom, hurry up, go open the door, and they're saying that they have a warrant, and come to find out, the only thing that they could find were a bunch of empty vapes, which my mom was not happy about. And yeah, my mom and I's relationship is super rocky sometimes, but I would never try to unalive her.
Am I the asshole for pranking my girlfriend on my buddy's birthday? Now, I, 26 male, have been friends with the same group of guys since we were kids. We are all extremely close with one another. One of the things you need to know about us is that we are all bonded by a shared sense of humor. We are huge fans of doing pranks on one another, and we have our own games and inside jokes. The best way to describe us is we're like this friend group in the movie Tag, parentheses, 2018. Now, recently, one of my buddies, let's call him Jackson, 28 male, got into a car accident. He's partly recovered, but he's still taking some rest, and he's been kind of down in the dumps. His birthday was coming up, so we wanted to cheer him up because we hate seeing our friends like that. So we got the idea of pranking my girlfriend because she's really posh and prissy, so her reaction would be great, and the prank we had in mind would knock his socks off. As kids, we used to play this game called Pizza Roulette. We'd order a large pizza, put each slice on 8 different plates, either face up or face down randomly, and then each of us would be blindfolded and have to take one of the slices and flip the plate over on another one, and then hold it up like a sandwich to eye level. If both of the bread slices were facing outwards, then congratulations, you got a calzone. Enjoy. If the bottom was sauced down, but the top was bread up, then it was kind of funny because they picked up the wet side. But if the sauce side was up, then the guy sitting next to you smashes the whole thing in your face. We used to have tons of fun, and Jackson loved the game. So Jackson's birthday comes. We blindfold my girlfriend and rig it so that she gets the pizza face up, and we do it successfully. But she gets really mad and leaves. Now the guys are annoyed because she ruined the vibe of Jackson's party, but some of the girlfriends in the group said what we did was wrong. I thought it was funny at first, but am I the asshole?
So it's like if it becomes like, so face up is just normal style pizza, right? It's like you're like double decorating your pizza normal style.
Honestly, I'm not super invested in the semantics.
I want to know the semantics of the.
I hate pranks personally. I think we all know that by this point. If my boyfriend did this to me at what's supposed to be like a really fun party, I would absolutely go home too.